So we're here today on another project that I have going. My 1943 John Deere L. And with this I found through a friend. It was a barn find basically. And I'm starting to take it apart because I want to do a repaint on the whole thing. So the first thing is, as I'm taking stuff off, I want to repair parts that need seals done and all that. The tractor actually ran very good, but I want to get the seals all cleaned up and new seals so there's no more dripping or seeping of grease or anything like this. So here's the tractor I'm working on. And again, it's a 1943 John Deere L. But right now, the thing I'm working on is the steering. So I have the steering wheel off of it and starting to loosen up all this. But if you see down here, this is the steering box. So the gears here, when you turn the steering wheel, it just basically is moving the idler arm that goes to tie rods and turns your axles. So if you see all this grease and whatnot seeping out of here and here, all these seals are gone. And you can see the old paint on it. It's not the original paint. The original paint is underneath the lighter green, as you can see. But all this paint is flaking off, which is great because it's going to make it a lot easier for me to paint. Look at that. So I gotta take off all these components, like the belt pulley. Probably take all this off too. So when I go to paint, I'm stripping down all this stuff. The tunnel here for the drive shaft, hood's going to come off. All the engine components will be repainted, so I'll take a lot of the engine components off and then just paint the block. But all this old paint, it was actually indoors in a shed, but it was kind of moist in there. But you got seals for the shifter. The actual final drives on this tractor are actually really good shape. They're not leaking or anything. And there's not really much leaking anywhere else. So it's just going to be doing the steering, most of the steering components. This also, the shaft that goes down for the turning of this. See, there's play in it. So I'll do that. The tie rod itself is bent. I'll work on that. Sheet metal all has to be taken care of, straightened out. The front grill stuff needs to be straightened out, really done nice, so everything gets painted up really nice. Couple dents, you know. But all in all, the tractor ran great. These are the tires, which are in fantastic shape, and the rims. The rims were put on so the dishes were out, but most of the pictures I see, this is actually the side that's out. So we're gonna swap them around so they look the right way, or like others, I guess. So that's the start of it. But as I said, just taking apart all this stuff. You know, the steering wheel is gonna have to be replaced. It's old and cracked and broken. So we'll get a new steering wheel. We'll get a lot of new parts, make this thing beautiful. Now, one interesting thing about this tractor, there was only 300 of these tractors made in 1943. And this is a 1943 L, John Deere L. And the significance about the L is, in this year, this is a John Deere engine. Other years had a Hercules engine. So this is actually a genuine John Deere engine, and it has electric start. A lot of them did not have electric start, so that's kind of a nice thing to have. There's a lever. Slowly taking stuff apart, and hopefully by spring, which is a couple months away, I'll be ready to be primering and painting. Have this ready for some shows if we actually are able to have shows this year. This is the retainer that keeps the shaft in. So there's like a shim, a couple of gaskets it seems like, So this has got to pull out. I'm not sure what that does. Well, I got the linkage on, so I mean this whole thing, it turns. So I don't know if I just pull it out or what, but I think this thing here is holding it in. So we're gonna see if we can loosen up and take a look at what that is. I'm doing this with one hand here. That might just be to put in fluid too, I don't know. Yeah, that looks like just for fluid. That's alright. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if I'll have to take these bolts off. Just either that, I'm just going to take the whole mechanism off and do it on the bench. So, I don't know. Yeah, we'll get the manual out and take a look at it. But yeah, get this all cleaned up, it'd be nice. So we got the steering box off, and I still haven't figured out how to get this shaft out of there. I'm sure it's probably just going to come right out, but I'm going to get on the internet, look at it. The oil's pretty darn dark, but it's not milky. That's a beautiful thing. So that's the shaft. I guess intermediate shaft or steering link or whatever the hell I call it. I didn't even look in the book yet. So, but I just got it propped up so it won't drip oil. But we'll get this thing all apart, order up some seals or whatever, see how it goes. And over here now, we got the support for the steering off. I just put a little metal tape over that. I'll cut that. And so now it's starting to look a lot cleaner. Now I think next thing is to get the plate here and get the hood off, and we'll keep going. Take the controls off, take the drawbar off. We disconnect all the brakes. Okay, we're back and got a lot more done. Got all the sheet metal off, so you see that the you can see the shaft, the rotating shaft here, that couples the transmission to the rear end and the wheels. So neutral, that turns the engine, as you can see. So from the front all the way to here, the transmission is way back here. So at all times this is spinning, so that's why they got the cover there. Also on this, the PTO is always spinning, which is interesting. So it was a pile of acorns in the bottom of the sheet metal over here. So the radiator is old, but it does not leak. But I still may see if I can find a radiator for this. They're not cheap though, but I'll see what I can do. I got a link belt on here. When I bought it, they had a link belt on here, so that's interesting. We'll rebuild or clean all this up. Probably an oil pan on it or whatever else looks like it's leaking. I had to take this off in order to get the sheet metal off. I got to figure out how else that they do this. I think it's just going to be a cap, a nipple and a cap on that. So yeah, it's coming along. So that's the John Deere 1943 John Deere L, all taken apart. And there'll be some more parts taken off of it to paint, but yeah, we're just starting to clean it up and go for it. It's getting there. All right, everybody. Spin this around, and just want to say thank you for watching the channel and all my different videos. Yeah, I don't do anything that's particularly of one type of interest, so that's why it's called It's Just Stuff I Do. So please subscribe and give it a like and comment, whatever, share it please, and stuff I do, I'll keep recording. Thanks, bye bye.